knockouts. You know, if that was the case, his face would look like mush. You know, he's moving his head, he's jabbing.
He's slick. A lot of people too, like,
since he knocked people out so much, people forget that he's a good boxer.
Terence Crawford is my favorite fighter of this era. You know, he's my favorite fighter of this era. So, as friends, as business, in boxing, Terence Crawford wins.
Right. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right.
Mike Tyson has issued a strong warning to Canelo Alvarez after witnessing Terence Crawford's intense training sessions. He emphasized that every fighter has their own style, but some develop the ruthless instinct of an animal when it matters most. Tyson explained that a combination of aggression and discipline can make a fighter nearly unstoppable. According to him, Crawford's mindset and intensity demonstrate he's ready for war, thus, Canelo might be too weak against such hunger and ferocity.
That long ago. That's what's so crazy.
Listen, most of these guys, Alexander Green, Hannibal, Genghis Khan, we have their DNA. That's why some people are savages to some, because we have these guys' DNA. These guys conquered the world, and look what level we are. We have their seeds. We have them. Some people, they have those psychopaths. Some people love killing people. Some people love eating people. Some people don't, just like animals, some animals get domesticated quicker than others. And the same in human beings. Some of them get domesticated quicker than others. And some of them just never get domesticated. They're just what they are.
So you genetically passed down their makeup.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I think the way we're so attached to our phones is going to lead to us being attached to some electronic thing that we wind up accepting in our body.
No, listen,
and it's going to change what people are.
Like some iRobot shit, honestly?
Yeah, legitimately. Like some kind of cyborg shit.
All of us right now, if our phones stop now, we would start fighting for some reason. Before we figured this shit out, if our phones started now, we would for some reason find reasons to fight.
We're so distracted by phones. But I think the thing about phones is you accept the fact that everybody has one. You accept the fact you always have it on you. So it might as well be a part of your body. It's just not connected. And one day it will be. One day they're going to figure out how to put a thing on your head that makes your brain work way better. And a few people are going to do it and they're going to have a big advantage. And then we're all going to do it.
But until then,
your
phone will be like your will. When you die, take my phone, son.
In preparation for the biggest test of his career, Terence Crawford has turned to sparring with Carlos Adams, a formidable middleweight known for his raw power and relentless offense. This choice speaks volumes about Crawford's mindset heading into his clash with Canelo Alvarez. Facing a naturally bigger opponent like Canelo, Crawford understands that adapting to heavy punches is a necessity, not a luxury. By absorbing and countering Adams' punishing shots during sparring, he's conditioning both his body and mind for the storm he expects on fight night. This approach highlights not only Crawford's toughness but also his tactical intelligence.
So here's a video that many people have sent me to determine in their mind that Terence Bud Crawford would lose to Canelo Alvarez, or is going to lose September 13th to Canelo Alvarez, as he is sparring here middleweight WBC world champion Carlos Adames, who is 24 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 18 wins by way of knockout. And people are saying that Carlos Adames, who's 5'11" with a 73-inch arm reach, is having his way with Terence Bud Crawford. And this is an indication that the 168-pound Canelo Alvarez, who's 5'7" with a 70-inch arm reach, is going to have the same type of success and knock Terence Crawford out. But what people are not paying attention to is Terence Crawford is standing right in front of Carlos Adames and taking the big punches from Carlos Adames as he's standing in the pocket and counterpunching him and taking his blows at a smaller weight class while competing at 147. Now he bulked up. What y'all think?
Oscar De La Hoya, a former rival turned promoter, believes Canelo's aggression could be his downfall. He states that while Canelo will undoubtedly come forward with his usual pressure, Crawford possesses the technical brilliance and adaptability to exploit that. De La Hoya points out how Mayweather frustrated Canelo with his defensive mastery and ring IQ, while Dimitri Bivol outclassed him by controlling distance and pace. The message is clear: Crawford, like those champions before him, has the skills to dissect Canelo's style. His southpaw switch hitting, sharp counters, and high fight IQ provide multiple pathways to victory. While Canelo may come hard, relying on strength and volume, Crawford's technique and intelligence could allow him to dismantle that pressure.
Do you feel that Terence has a shot in beating Canelo Alvarez?
That's the $1 million question. When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo. So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters. Right. Yeah. He's not getting rattled at all. Right. No. Berlanga's a big kid. Right. Yeah. So it makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's going to come at him hard. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem. And Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So there's
Don't you think Canelo's a better fighter than he was then? Today?
A better fight? Yeah, a little better. Yeah, his footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet.
Obviously, Canelo has the power to hurt anyone.
In this game, power means a lot. If you can't keep your guy off you, or you don't know how because it's too much pressure. Right. And the one thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know? And he doesn't run, and he has that heart. He's a dog, he has that heart. You want to fight me? I'm going to fight you.
Comparisons between Crawford and Alexander Usyk are not misplaced. Usyk, a naturally smaller fighter at heavyweight, conquered giants like Anthony Joshua and even challenged Tyson Fury by sticking to his unique style, speed, footwork, relentless confidence. Analysts argue that Crawford should approach Canelo similarly, not by trying to be bigger or stronger, but by maximizing what makes him great. Crawford's timing, accuracy, and ring generalship are unmatched today. By trusting his own rhythm, as Usyk did, Crawford can offset Canelo's physical advantages. The lesson is that greatness doesn't come from imitating an opponent's strengths but from amplifying one's own. For Crawford, this means trusting his boxing instincts, maintaining discipline, and using his well-rounded skill set to neutralize size and power. Training hard, yes, but also training smart, because in this fight, his identity may be his greatest weapon.
To reevaluate, him bulking up and say, you know what? Nah, Terence Crawford, if you want a chance, not just to survive, but a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez, you have to be you. Just like Alexander Usyk was himself to face muscle machines like Anthony Joshua, big, tall enigma in the heavyweight division like Tyson Fury. Now let me quickly give you an example of what I'm talking about. See, when Alexander Usyk fought Anthony Joshua, right? He weighed in at 221. Joshua was 244, giving up 20 pounds, over 20 pounds, almost 25 pounds, right? Alexander Usyk didn't chase Anthony Joshua in terms of trying to bulk up. Oh man, I'm gonna fight this heavyweight. His power is gonna be more than me. His weight, he could overwhelm me with his weight, his height, you know, his power. No, I gotta be the most comfortable fighter I could be. I gotta be comfortable under my own skin. I'm not gonna beat him off power. I gotta beat him off speed. I gotta beat him off movement. I gotta beat him off adjustments. I gotta beat him off IQ, right? So Alexander Usyk didn't have to bulk up to be successful. Now look at this one. Look at when he fought Tyson Fury. He kept the same energy, he kept the same mindset, and it still got him to become an undisputed heavyweight champion.
Coach Joel Diaz believes Crawford's skill set will trouble Canelo early on. But he also emphasizes the financial stakes of this bout. For Crawford, a fighter who has dominated multiple weight classes but often lacked blockbuster opportunities, this is the fight that could change his legacy inside the ring and at the bank. The scale of the payday reflects the magnitude of the matchup. Never before has Crawford fought on such a huge stage, with millions of viewers and record-breaking revenue on the line. Diaz suggests that while the pressure will be immense, the rewards are equally massive. Beyond the tactical battle, Crawford is fighting for generational wealth and recognition. If he wins, his career could ascend to levels few boxers ever reach, both in prestige and financial power.
You know, never made those millions of dollars that he deserved to make, and became friends with Turkey Alish, which Turkey Alish announced it publicly. Terence Crawford is my favorite fighter of this era. You know, he's my favorite fighter of this era. So, as friends, as business, in boxing, Terence Crawford wins. But he wins money. Because now, hey, you know what? As my friend that you are, I make you an offer. Would you fight Canelo? I'll give you 40 million. I don't know if it's 40, I don't know if it's 50, 60, but he's not gonna make no less than $10 million. So right there, Crawford's winning, regardless. As a fighter, like, dude, you give me 20 million, I'll fight anybody. I'll fight Anthony Joshua right now. So Terence Crawford has to sell the fight. He has to say, I'll beat Canelo, left and right, whatever, right? But we've seen it we've seen it many, many times. When fighters move up 2 divisions to be the champion, they fail. I mean, I saw it with Mikey Garcia when he fought Earl Spence. I saw it when Demetrius Andrade, a 147-pounder, was avoided for years. He moved to 54, he was avoided. He moved to 160, he fought maybe once or twice. Nobody wanted to fight him, so he moves to 68 and fights Benavidez. What happens? He looked good for the first 3 rounds because he's good. But once that heavy monster is coming at you, he'll destroy you.
Shakur Stevenson, one of boxing's brightest young champions, has no doubts about Crawford's chances. He dismisses concerns about size and weight, emphasizing that both men are roughly the same height and that Crawford's physical condition has already adjusted to the move up in weight. To Stevenson, this fight is about skills, not scales. Crawford's lean build, combined with his rigorous training, allows him to compete comfortably at higher weights without sacrificing speed. Stevenson argues that the narrative about weight differences is outdated, especially given Crawford's natural strength and adaptability. Most importantly, he believes Crawford's mental toughness and experience negate any physical advantages Canelo might claim. For fans, Stevenson's confidence adds another layer of intrigue, suggesting the younger generation sees Crawford as a man capable of toppling boxing's biggest star.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
Yeah. You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, in certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so, no.
Corey, how you got a decision established? Because Bradman and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop it.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and who got on the phone talked about it, but I think that's possible. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud can crack too. So,
despite the widespread praise, skepticism exists. Some analysts argue that while Crawford's dominance is undeniable, many of his opponents lack the mainstream recognition or elite status that Canelo brings. Outside of Errol Spence Jr., who was undefeated before Crawford defeated him, few names on Crawford's resume carry the same global weight. This criticism raises a key question: has Crawford truly been tested against a fighter of Canelo's caliber? Detractors suggest that beating Spence isn't the same as defeating a seasoned champion like Canelo. They warn that Crawford is entering uncharted territory. While acknowledging his talent, they caution that Canelo's experience on the biggest stages may present challenges Crawford has never faced before.